We're all Iron Man 2 now, and I just don't.
I have so many ports. I have the most. I have the best ports. You don't understand. Billionaires are evil.
Oh.
Whenever
Three,
you are.
2, 1. 3, 2, 1. I'm just kidding. We'll do it again.
I mean, I would have taken it. I would have gone for it.
You think you were pretty off on him, unless our audio is just that far decent. Also, I do want to say Noah was like, I'll miss for the first time. Like, I didn't do several solo episodes.
I was gonna say it's the first time that you and I have done a duo episode.
That is true. This is known. But Noah, however,
I feel like Noah
pretending
was
like he's
that
never
we
missed
would-
an episode.
That is true, and Noah has missed a number of episodes. The podcast does survive without Noah.
Noah has missed 2 episodes. This is his 3rd episode he has missed. Thank you very much.
Good thing, because we kicked him off. He's done.
Yeah.
He's still editing
now
for
we're
us.
having who's replacing Noah? A robot?
I don't remember. I don't know that we found a good Noah replacement. What was? I don't remember the Patreon. Listen, I like that you think I, of all people, look at the Patreon. Although I probably should, because it is the first episode of the month.
Who's Patreon?
Who is Patreon?
I don't think I've ever met the guy.
Hold on, I'm just gonna message our boy real quick.
You message Noah instead of looking at the Patreon?
Well, I can't access the Patreon because it's bound to his phone.
Oh, that's right, because it'll kick us out because Noah set up phone.
He's two-factor authentication, which you should do. To be clear, that is a good thing that he did.
I mean, maybe, but I feel like the second factor shouldn't have been a phone. Like you should have had the app.
Mm-hmm.
Like
that we could have all downloaded.
Precisely.
Because that would have been the smart thing to do.
This clown stuff that we got going on here.
I don't have the old podcast stuff. Hold on. I know I have it somewhere. I just don't know where it is. Maybe it's hidden in the off-the-air chat somewhere. Nope, not there.
Wait, what are you looking for right now?
The podcast Gmail.
Oh.
I had it somewhere. I don't have the password anymore.
Maybe you should have asked that before we started recording instead of in the middle of that.
We're doing it live.
Speaking of the Alamo, they just met at one time. Santa Barbara is a crazy place this time of year.
Weird.
Yeah, the Alamo's there.
Huh.
You've been to California before?
I have not.
Me neither.
I have been to the Alamo though.
What do you think California is like?
Probably a lot of. Ooh, that was not as quiet as I had hoped it would be.
You thought it was gonna be quiet? Has anyone ever? That was even louder that time.
Well, yeah. Second time I was doing it for comedic effect. You see. I think California is full of stuff. Very diverse climates.
That's probably true. I think. Can we get a stats check on whether or not there is things in California?
No, it's not here to look at that for us.
Damn, we're out of luck then.
No, there's
Man,
no.
I was
other
really
way
hoping I could find out whether or not there were things that existed in California. But as it stands, I guess Listen. Well, we tried our best.
Well, we did our best and we failed.
Listeners, I'm sorry to tell you, I don't know whether or not there's things in California.
There are definitely people there. I can confirm that. I know at least one person who's in California.
All right.
Or at least he says he's in California. For all I know, he could be living in my backyard. I would never know.
Do you think? Do you have a backyard?
Absolutely not.
I didn't think so because there's not really that many yards.
It would be weird. That's why it would be weird for him to live there.
Philadelphia.
That's why it
would be very strange if someone told you they live somewhere and said live somewhere that didn't exist.
Yeah. But yeah, California, lots of weirdly diverse climate. I think that's like the big thing that people don't like. Everyone thinks of California as like LA and desert, and like there's a lot of like mountains and like trees. Forests and shit like all over the place. Like California's got a lot of different climates going on.
As it is known, the big tree state.
The big tree state, yeah. It also has like a lot of like not city center areas. Like you got like San Francisco,
Frisco.
You got Frisco. You got San Diego. You got
I like to call
LA.
them the Super Bowl losers.
Oh, that's right. It is post Super Bowl. I did not watch the Super Bowl. I just got angry about the Super Bowl because.
Why'd you get angry about the Super Bowl?
Because Noah posted about it earlier today.
Noah doesn't like Kansas?
Noah doesn't like Kansas. Noah doesn't like Kansas. That's what it is. He saw Wizard of Oz and said, "You know what? Fuck Kansas."
Wow.
I know.
I can't believe Noah said that.
Weird stance for him to take.
Yeah, it's really it's not like him to just be like, I hate Kansas.
I know. I
mean,
he said it to me in confidence, but I feel like it's my time to come clean. I need to.
That's something that's important that you tell people.
Listen, it's 2020. I can't listen. I can't just sit here and write a book about it that'll come out in 9 months after it's too late for us to like do anything about it.
Make a difference. Yeah, we got to change this
right now. Yeah,
we got to make a change. Just like Michael Jackson said in the song "Man in the Mirror."
Yeah, that's what he said.
We've got to channel that.
What do you think that song's about?
What do I think the song "Man in the Mirror" is about?
Yeah, what's it about?
I think it's actually pretty clear what it's about. It's about cultural Marxism.
That tracks. That tracks. I think Michael Jackson was definitely a Marxist. That tracks. I think that was his whole brand.
Michael
actually.
Jackson, renowned cultural Marxist. So I
Culture,
feel like he was really trying to make a difference through that.
cultural Marxist, but economic libertarian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
weird choice
those are the
for
two
him.
things everyone knows about MJ. Like, oh, Michael Jackson. You mean the cultural Marxist? Everyone's like, oh yeah.
And then you got the other side. He's like, oh man, I remember when he said that thing. You know the thing.
Yeah, the libertarian thing. When
The
he
libertarian
said,
thing. I don't know what libertarians
what do
sound like
libertarians
anymore.
believe? They're just like mad that they had to pay for things sometimes.
No, they
Right?
only want to pay for things.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. They're the ones who don't want to pay for, or they do want to pay for everything.
They
They're like,
only want to pay for
I went
their
to the
stuff. They don't want to pay for
store.
other people's stuff. Is the whole
Yeah,
thing.
like, I went to the store the other day, and they didn't allow me to buy everything with Bitcoin. That's a libertarian, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. For a long time, this is not gonna go. We should wait for for this one.
Are there a lot of them out there?
There are. I know a couple.
Really?
I was one for a while, or I was until I realized that a lot of libertarians are just the worst.
Well,
Because in theory, like I like the idea. Like the idea sounds fine, right? Oh, pay for the shit that you actually use, and don't pay for the shit that you don't use. All right, cool.
You sound like a phone commercial, but yeah,
but
I like
here's-
phone commercials.
Here's the thing. It's not how society works, and also billionaires are evil.
Oh,
And like libertarians are all up on that billionaire dick because they're like,
They
oh
do
man,
love-
someday
they do
that could
think
be
that
me.
the free market will inherently save us,
Which I'm gonna make a wild claim
and
here,
they're
Jackson.
right.
Oh, they are. You know what? They are right.
That's right.
Off the air, known supporter of the free market. And if
as
you want to
everyone, I'm
support
sure
our
here
free
is-
market, go to audibletrial.com.
Are you gonna do that? You gonna do it like that?
No,
People
I'm giving
really
it
just
up.
be saying
No,
anything.
I gave it up. I started
People
real.
really just be like saying words sometimes.
Listen, man. Listen, I'll do that at the end. I'll do it at the end. Noah's not here to do all the reads, so I gotta like
No,
try
it
and keep
doesn't
track
ever
of
do the reads.
Noah does the podcast, like the list of like where you can find the podcast, right?
But he never once hit one of the softballs I've thrown for him.
I know, to be fair, you whiffed a softball like 2 weeks ago. I remember.
What was it?
You said you said you wanted to talk about underwater, and
that's right.
he started pitching it to you, and you just were like, huh? And that's how that happened. I remember. I was there.
If you'd seen Underwater, you would have forgotten about it too. Don't worry.
I mean, that's super fair, understandable.
It is,
No good.
a cinematic masterpiece. As I said last week.
No good. Icky caca.
I hate that sentence. It's
Yeah.
what, I feel like my third grade English teacher would have said that.
Yeah, that's the energy. I have the energy of your third grade English teacher.
No, what was her name? No, I don't remember. She couldn't have been that important.
I was gonna say, I can tell she made a real impact on your life.
I feel like elementary school teachers don't really make an impact unless you just convince yourself you do, and in reality they were just probably nice to you.
Well, I feel like they could. I feel like they could, right? I just don't think they do. They did for us because, well, my elementary school teacher was my parents, and yeah.
I mean, my second grade teacher was sick, but would I say she impacted my life? Not even a little bit.
That's
Great
fair.
teacher, but my life's not gonna be changed because of something I learned in second grade. I learned how to be really good at sharing, but I don't know.
I mean, to be
Maybe
fair,
that's why I'm
I was gonna say that's how you became a communist,
That's true.
as we all know. Listen.
Mm-hmm.
The commie agenda gets them while they're young. They get them in second grade.
Yeah, what's the what is the commie agenda?
Probably free stuff, right? Pretty sure
Let's
so.
go with that.
That's
Yeah,
how it
sure.
works.
You know what? Why not? Free stuff.
Free stuff, right? That's what communism's about. Free shit and wearing
Yeah.
red.
Ooh, yep, that's it. He's
It's-
gotten both the major tenets.
Yes. Listen,
Karl Marx wrote down Das Kapital in 1881 or whatever, and
Sure.
he was like, "You gotta wear red, and you gotta take free things. We got that swag, and we wear red."
but only if it's. Do you take the swag if it's not red?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I guess then you just give it to your non-commie brothers.
Well, I mean, no, you can have things that aren't red, but you can't own things. You know what I'm saying?
I see. No, yeah, that makes sense.
No property ownership, but there is you can have a burger
Burger.
provided to you by the state.
I was gonna say, can you if you eat the burger, is it still owned by the state?
I mean, yeah, because you
When
are, and your energy is being used to further the
That's
state.
true. That's true. You are owned by the state. I wish I was owned by the state.
Here's a good headline for you. Giant Tasmanian echidna Eleanor saved from death after being hit by a car because of her size.
How big is this? All right, let's start at the top. How big is she?
You know what?
How dummy thick is she?
That's not a way to reference it to an echidna. They're our friends.
It is. You've
I'm
clearly
trying
never
to find
played
out.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Let me get a number here. She received treatment. Now been released back into the wild. Clipped by a car, but luckily only had a couple of minor bruises. The fattest echidna they've ever seen.
Dummy thick.
But I'm not seeing a name for Eleanor the
I'm imagining
echidna from Tanzania.
Echidnas are like pretty small, right? Like they're pretty small. They're like,
well, not Eleanor.
That's what I'm saying. I'm imagining Eleanor is like the size of like
Knuckles.
I was imagining the size of like a prize pig, like just thick,
just in, like a wild hog, like literally like 10 feet tall.
Yeah,
like, literally insanely massive.
Let's see, Tasmanian echidna, a short beak echidna, between 12 and 17 inches long. So,
but how many pounds?
4 to 10.
So this is like a 600-pound echidna, though.
Yeah, exactly. This is an echidna that like the car isn't the part. Like the echidna isn't the thing you have to worry about if you hit it with your car. You have to worry about the car itself. Eleanor
is a force of nature. I mean, wild hogs can get really big.
Can they? What's the biggest wild hog?
Oh my god, they're massive.
Largest.
Let's see.
Wild
hogs.
Hog.
The movie, as I'm sure you know, starring Tim Allen.
Jesus Christ.
Why am I just getting info on the Wild Hogs, a 2007 comedy film starring Tim Allen? You know, they're massive, though. Like, they dwarf a car. Jesus H. Christ. I found one from Dailymotion. That's got to be like Photoshop or something. That can't be real. No, they are that big. Jesus. They are absolutely insane. Yeah, that's the thing. People think of wild hogs and like, oh, yes, a big pig or just a wild pig. But they're huge. 11-year-old. They're monsters. King Kong hog from Russia makes Hogzilla look like a baby. How big is it? 7 inches tall. Tied it, drove, weighed out 5.5, shoulder height of 5.5 feet at 1,179 pounds. Mm-hmm. That's dummy thick. That's the size of a car. Literally, they couldn't even like. In Europe, they weigh like 200 pounds. This is a Russian one. Exactly, yeah. The European hogs. Compared to the Russian tiny mammoths. So those American hogs and those Belarusian hogs, big lads. Let's see. It says, but they have combat calls, high-pitched, piercing cries. Siri, play high-pitched combat calls from a wild hog. You know what I have a bone to pick with? All of these commercials that have been coming out lately, starring Ellen DeGeneres, that are like, what did people do before Alexa? That's the dumbest fucking tagline I've ever heard in my life. I don't know how much like an average person really, really uses their Alexa. He says, "Yeah, you can't. Like, there's nothing to do on it. You can play Skyrim on it. There's nothing to do on it." Yeah, I mean, I use the one in my kitchen a lot to like do timers. Like, I use it like primarily for timers and like to play Spotify when I'm going to bed. Like, that's 90% of the use I get out of it, and occasionally like to check what time it is. If I came over and we were hanging out and I accidentally knocked it over and it broke, I mean, and for whatever reason I didn't buy you a new one, would your life be changed? No, I mean, like, not really. Like, what did I even do before this? No, I'd be like, oh, that's annoying. It's fine though, you know. Speaking of which, Jackson, when are you gonna come over? Today. Okay. I'll probably come over. I'll probably try and like go down to Philly for like a Wonder Years concert or something. Okay. You should let me know, and we'll hang. Okay. It'll be a good time. But yeah, I have a Google Home in my kitchen, and I've used it like 6 times. It's just like not that convenient. What's the difference between Google Home and a Alexa? Like practically, they're the same thing. Okay. Yeah. Speaking of which, she just went off in the background. I heard. Oh, great. But, no, like the Google Home is like, it's fine. But same with an Alexa. I'd rather just, if I'm playing music, I'll just put the volume up on my phone and then just like use my phone. Yeah. Because I can just actively like type in songs and add them to queue on Spotify so it won't like ruin everything. That's fair. See, I use it for a lot of... I mean, I can use it as a speaker, like as a periphery speaker, but like it doesn't matter that much. But yeah, the commercials with Ellen's being like, what did people do before Alexa? It was literally like 3 years ago. Are you kidding me? It's the dumbest ad I've ever seen in my life. No, don't try and convince me I have never lived without your weird like surveillance things in my house. Super, super fair. Like, I absolutely know what it's like to not have an Alexa. It's just like normal life. It's like having an Alexa, but without like the ability to ask music to start playing. And even then, you can still do that with your phone.
I was gonna say you can even do it verbally with your phone. Just turn on like fucking Google Voice or whatever.
You
Your
can have
Siri.
like, the assistant activate when your phone's locked.
Yep, I have mine do it.
So like exactly. So you basically and that's the thing about like the Alexas and the Google Homes. They're just a speaker that connects to your phone. All the actual stuff that gets done for the most part is done through your phone's connection.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like it's not really the device itself is functionally a speaker it's a Bluetooth speaker that responds to voice commands.
Yeah, I mean, and
but the same voice commands your phone also responds to. So
yeah, and I would even argue that it's convenient. Like I enjoy the convenience of it, but like I'm not out here sitting here like, oh man, what did I ever do before Alexa? I always actually feel disappointed because I always expected to be able to do like one or two more things than it actually is capable of doing.
Exactly, it's underwhelming.
Like I'm always like, oh, like what was the one the other day? I was it doesn't handle converting units super well, at least in my experience.
What do you mean? What is it supposed to do?
I just wanted
half the thing it's there
I wanted
for.
I wanted to say like how many cups is 27 ounces or something.
That's
like,
absolutely reasonable.
Yeah, and that seems exactly. But it does not. It's like 27 cups is so and so many ounces. I'm like, that is the opposite of what I asked you to do. Or like food, like I use it in the kitchen all the time. It's like my thing because I have a show that I won at an Echo show that I won at a college event. Weirdest flex. But yeah, no, I had I like was like cloves of garlic because we like go back and forth between buying pre-minced garlic and mincing it ourselves just because mincing it ourselves is a pain. And
it is pain.
It's just not worth the amount of garlic you get out of it to not just spend the $2. And like I can never remember how much 2 cloves of garlic is in terms of like it once it's minced. And like it can't tell me. It physically cannot tell me. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm just gonna look it up myself because that's
And then you pull out your phone and you Google it.
And I Google it. Although
like,
I will say I'm a huge fan across the board of interconnectivity between my different devices. Like I just found a thing that lets me set up my laptop as essentially a tertiary monitor, which I'm really happy about. I have it so that my phone is linked to my PC so that when I get texts, I see it ding up on my PC and my laptop, actually. I am a huge fan of interconnectivity and voice activation. It's just like 90% of the time, it just doesn't fucking work.
Yeah.
I just want to be able to say...
like, I get interconnectivity and I have it on my phone and computer, but like, if it was gone, I would not be inconvenienced at all because I don't respond to people or talk to people.
Yeah.
I get like one text message a month and it's from my mom saying things like, hey, do you work tonight?
Fair.
And I'll be like, yes or no. So like,
I mean, I get texts now and again for like work shit, but it's so rare.
Yeah, I don't talk to people on purpose.
I mean, for the best, really. That's a lot of work.
It really is. And I just like, I'm good. I got like a couple friends. I go on the podcast and talk to you guys like once a week.
That's a lot of talking, to be fair.
I know. I talk for like an hour to you guys once a week. I play D&D for a couple hours on Tuesdays.
Hey.
I talk in class occasionally, but I try not to whenever possible.
Respectable. I respect that. When are we going to do... All right, Jackson, hear me out.
I would rather die than play D&D online.
Really? Bold choice.
Well, I mean, not rather die. It takes something very special.
What if it wasn't D&D? What if it was just another tabletop game?
That's the same thing. Unless it's like a tabletop simulator, and I can put on my Oculus Rift and just knock things over.
Do you have a Rift?
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
I have for like 5 years. Do you want it? Like, if I come to Philly, I'll just give it to you. I haven't used it in like 3 years.
I desperately want it, but I also don't know that I can like comfortably on my own pride accept that kind of gift.
It's just like a lot of ports, and like you have to like plug it in, and I just don't.
I have so many ports. I have the most. I have the best ports. You don't understand.
If you were like, I could have 4 monitors or 1 monitor and 1 Oculus Rift, I'd be like, give me 4 monitors.
See,
because that's the amount of ports it takes up.
I would probably do a Vive instead of a Rift, but other than that, yeah, I would 100% take the Rift.
They're cool.
They're very cool. I desperately want one. I finally have room. Like I rearrange my desk again. I do it about every like 9 months. I rearrange my desk. And
I think they suffer from the same thing as Google Home and Alexa though, where it's just like you think it's going to do so much and then it does so little. Speaking of like things that you wanted to do so much and then they did so little, fucking Google Glass. That's not real anymore, right?
No, it's not. Yeah, they got rid of it. Dude, I wanted that so bad to be like the future. That was such a like AR is so much more interesting to me than VR because, and that's why a lot of the newest like headsets, right? They have their cameras on the front, so you can actually like see the world and also be playing a game or whatever. I desperately want someone to come out with like a really cool AR setup for like a VR because I think that
see, today I was Googling and looking up the stuff about living in like remote fishing villages in northern Canada. So I think we're on the exact opposite page here.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I just want to be able to put my headset on and then have like 90 monitors instead of having 2.
If you were to tell me that if I just gave up technology, I could go live and like just fish on a boat in like Newfoundland and look at birds, I would be like, you know what? I would absolutely give up all the technology in the world.
You can do that. You actually can do that.
For sure. But I need to like also have like a means of income up there.
Yeah, your income comes from fishing. You would live on your boat, obviously.
Yeah, but you have to like buy a boat in the first place, which is a pretty big investment, and you have to like legally migrate to another country in order to like make a living there.
You could do it out of Alaska, I bet.
It'd take me a little bit of time. Yeah, but I don't want to go to Alaska because that's where all the libertarians are.
Is it? Is Alaska full of libertarians?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Huh. So like they have like a million shows on the Discovery Channel. They're just like people moving to Alaska and doing like, the homestead thing, where if you just go like put a house on land, it's technically your land now.
Huh. The more you know.
Yeah, like that's a huge thing in Alaska. Like this has been blowing up. People go up there and they mine for gold. Alaska is like a libertarian paradise.
Been spending most our lives, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. Speaking of libertarian
paradise, the worst idea I've ever heard.
It's just late stage capitalism.
It's the latest stage capitalism.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely, yeah. There's just no government. It's anarchy that is controlled exclusively by corporations.
It's Shadowrun.
But is that the worst thing you've ever heard of? Because in that case, Disney would have a military and they would give you a gun to go fight for them if you wanted to go to war with Amazon.
Would it be a laser gun?
I mean, if it's that far in the future, yeah.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, I'm in.
But what if Amazon offered you a laser gun too?
I don't know, man.
How would you take?
That's a hard question. I mean,
what if you could also take a laser gun because they exist and not be on either side?
Ooh, I mean that's the best option. But can I then earn money with my laser gun?
I mean, it's libertarian late stage existence, so
yeah,
I guess you could probably just like do like work for people, just be a contract killer because that's very smiled upon in libertarian paradise.
Which is insane to me that like at that point you don't just do it yourself like a goddamn adult. But whatever.
You know, if you have the money, you might as well pay for the product.
Whack.
Right? You pay for the service.
Whack.
It's a gig economy, but also corporations run everything. So kind of like today. I was gonna say, like a little bit worse.
I see.
It's just like you imagine. So like where we're at now, like the tertiary labor force is like the majority. Well, not the majority, but the highest populated labor force currently, because things that are secondary, like construction, are on the down, and things that are primary, like farming, are again going down. So you've got your tertiary and your quaternary.
Sure.
Workforces, which are your service industry and your skilled work like engineering and teaching and things like that, government work. And like those are your main labor forces, and forever, because as long as technology continues advancing and society continues advancing, those will continue to be the primary labor forces. And libertarian paradise is basically imagine that everything stays the same, but you still get like everything stays on the same path, and that like those continue to be your primary labor sources. But like today, you still get to hate people who are in the tertiary labor force for no reason, other than the fact that they're in a labor force that is highly in demand and our economy demands exists. Like because that tertiary labor force needs to exist for our economy to move forward, it does exist, right? And it continues to be populated. But at the same time, it is not valued and is actively maligned. People literally are like, flipping burgers is the worst thing you can do. Never work at McDonald's. And then they go to McDonald's.
Yeah, I mean,
like, what do you want? Yeah, that's the idea that like libertarian paradise like feeds off of that. You tell people just be better when living in a society that forces people to be worse.
Yeah, I mean that is essentially the society we live in.
But like times 10.
I was listening to somebody the other day who was talking about like, oh well, what if we focused on insert whatever thing, but didn't like we don't have the resources to focus on like the socioeconomic thing, and I'm like literally that's all that matters. All these
we do have the resources.
So
for that,
many
though.
of these. It was mental health. That's what it was. It was talking about mental health and like violent crime and like how how you could possibly how you could possibly address violent crime as a like genetic or physical thing and not necessarily just a socioeconomic thing. And I'm like, yeah, but so much of it is socioeconomic that like trying to focus on any other part of it besides like perhaps like mental health and counseling seems like just a waste of everybody's time.
Yeah, it's you can't really separate them, and like you need to focus on the things that are socioeconomic at this point, which is why there's such a societal shift towards that kind of stuff, and people are starting to think about that in the right way because we spent $19 trillion over my entire life. We've been at war with Afghanistan. Your entire life as well. Mine is like 2 years. The war was declared when we were like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
but we've been at war with Afghanistan for our entire lives, and we spent almost $20 trillion in that war.
And for what? For what?
I mean, for oil and non-renewable resources that America uses well beyond our lion's share of. Like, we complain so much about China being the majority pollutant, but in reality, we use more coal and oil than China.
Now, are you trying to tell me that we could now hear me out? What if we just didn't?
Well, that's an option. But also, to be fair, we use most of our transportation on the roads.
Yeah.
A lot of other countries use like train systems and other things.
Which
it's that.
It blows my mind because our train systems are so trash. Our trains, like,
they're garbage.
And I don't understand.
Absolute garbage.
I mean, I do understand why. It's because you remember I don't know if I told this story on the podcast. There was supposed to be a high-speed rail. They've been talking about it for like 30 years between New York City and DC with a stop in Philadelphia, like a maglev. And like there was a huge amount of money that went towards it. And you know where that money went?
Probably the highway.
Nobody knows where that money went.
I mean, most of our infrastructure money goes straight to like the maintaining highways. But to be fair, if we get into a point where we have things that are like fully electric vehicles, it's gonna not be that bad because we'll drastically reduce oil. Also, imagine like semis chugging down the highway. Imagine covering those entire trailers with solar panels. You'd be going through the Sun Belt like a dream.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's so easy for us as like random dudes on the internet to be like, there are problems. What if we fix the problems, right? And like, obviously it's not that simple. But for some of these,
none of these solutions we pose are simple. They're like programs that require a lot of funding and a lot of people saying yes, and then it takes a lot of time. And a lot of times your taxpayers are just gonna be like, no thanks, don't change.
Yeah, which doesn't just be. I went on.
Everything has a drawback. None of these are like 100% positive solutions.
My first year of college, I took a class on nuclear power, on a bunch of clean energy power, but like one of the big things we talked about was nuclear power.
Yeah.
And I came out of that class with such a raging, furious anger at the United States because
nuclear power slaps.
Nuclear power fucking slaps. The downsides are comparatively not literally non-existent, but for all intents and purposes non-existent. Even if you say, it dumps like these many tons of nuclear waste, cool. Do you know how much waste we dump into the atmosphere based on fucking everything else? And do you know how many different ways we can like?
Is great. The only problem is like we had 3 Mile Island, which again, not a problem. Nothing bad happened. But everyone's like, exactly we can never touch this again. And it's just because people like lobby for it. I mean, the nuclear industries aren't like amazing though. They do like. They're guilty of the same kind of crimes as a lot of the renewable resources are, which is they just kind of like they basically take money and then don't do anything with it. They're like, we'll build these many solar panels, and they take the money like, damn, we don't have any more solar panels. Government, can we have some more money? And so that's why a lot of people are like soured on it because like these companies and these people that are supposed to be making renewable resources are instead just pocketing the money. And nuclear is doing that too.
Of course, because big corporations are garbage across the board, no matter what brand they stand in front of. But nuclear power just seems like the smart solution to so many problems. And I get that 3 Mile Island was a thing, right? I get it. I have driven past it so many times. I
mean, nothing really happened though, right?
But nothing really happened. I mean, yes,
except for the fact that they safely shut everything out and no one died.
There were problems. There are a lot of problems with like there are rumors of problems with like long-term problems, right? The ones that you would expect from a nuclear meltdown. But that's one nuclear plant. We've had 2 other major nuclear disasters in history: Chernobyl, and then the one in Japan,
Fukushima. Which also Fukushima, not a disaster.
It was not great, and people definitely
no one was hurt.
Didn't people die at Fukushima?
And if they died, it was because of the earthquake. The meltdown itself was handled properly.
I thought somebody died.
The earthquake was really bad though.
I thought somebody died in the process of shutting everything down because that's right. If they died in the process of shutting everything down because of the earthquake or something, like they stayed behind intentionally shut things down. Earthquake.
Oh, like someone like sealed the door from the outside.
I'm pretty sure that something like that happened. I'm pretty sure.
If I have to go out, let me do that. Let me seal the door from the outside.
Let's see. Fukushima deaths. What do we got? World's worst nuclear accident. Okay. So 18,000 died or disappeared in the quake and tsunami. But but only one person so far died from radiation as of September 2018.
Okay.
And he
Yeah, so, I mean, again, it
died
was
in his
handled quite properly.
50s, and he was, I think, there was definitely somebody who like,
Chernobyl was a nightmare, though. Chernobyl was straight up their fault.
no, dude, Chernobyl makes me so angry because people,
They were
and Three
using,
Mile
like,
Island
World War
too.
I jet
Three Mile
engines
Island
to
and Chernobyl
power
were
things.
both because of people being fucking stupid. They were like, oh, look how safe Chernobyl is. What if we just put everything up to max and then leave everything off, like turn off all the safety precautions? Look how safe everything is. And then everything broke because they shut off all the safety precautions. And
Well,
Three Mile
you
Island
know,
was the same. I'm pretty sure the same exact
test
thing.
my powers. I think 3 Mile Island was like someone like didn't pay attention to the dial when they were supposed to. Like they thought it was just broken. They're like, oh, this must be bugged. And then turned out it wasn't bugged. They needed to shut it down. I'm pretty sure that's what happened with 3 Mile Island.
That sounds correct.
And Fukushima was just like, hey, earthquake. And everyone's like, oh, well, you know, what can you do?
I just so disappointed.
Yeah, we'll run out of oil sooner or later.
Yeah, but if we don't have the fucking replacement infrastructure in place before we run out of oil, it's going to be an even bigger problem.
Yeah.
Fucking,
What are
it
we gonna
takes
do
what,
about it?
20 years for 20 years, I think, for a nuclear reactor to go from like, yes, we are doing this to fully being operational. And do you know how many we've built in the last like 20 years?
We haven't built any. We don't build them
We
anymore.
haven't built a single one.
Yeah, we stopped. Like our nuclear program is not receiving anymore. Like
I
they're not building anymore.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
Isn't France entirely nuclear powered now?
Sure, probably.
I think France is
sounds
the one
right
that's
to me.
like finally. I know for a while they were like at like 70% nuclear power. I think they switched over all the way. I don't know if that's for sure,
France,
but they are
nuclear power. What do we got?
They do power on a lot of stuff with nuclear power.
71.7%.
Okay, so it's still
and
around
then
70.
90% comes from nuclear and low carbon. So nuclear
Oh,
and renewable.
90% comes from nuclear.
Well, but that and renewable.
Oh, and renewable. Okay, so not at 100, but still 7. So they're around the 70 nuclear power range, which is good. Good for them.
They did it in 1974 to 1989. They did it 30 fucking years ago. And you know what?
Yeah.
They're still riding that goddamn wave. I don't. And even saying, like, I'm looking right now, the U.S., according to Business Insider, as of 2011, which seems way out of date, we still have the most nuclear reactors, right? But our power, like, requirements compared to
We
fucking
use a lot of power because we got a lot of people and we got a lot of wide spaces. I mean, what? Like, are we not going to have the wide spaces and people? We're going to continue using an immense amount of power.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Is that like we have looking at as of 2011 or not 2011? When did I say this was?
It is so funny to think that we use like double the amount of oil that China does, and we just sit here like pointing the finger at China for everything wrong.
Oh yeah,
we move our industries to China so we don't have to like deal with any like labor laws or like restrictions on what we make. And we're like, guys, look how bad China's doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at this, guys. I can't believe China's doing this. Yeah, give me 20 more functional slave laborers, and I don't care about what we put out in the atmosphere.
Yeah, 100%.
But then China's kind of like they pulled the absolute 4D chess move with like their policy, they're not like national business policy or whatever. I don't know what the actual name of the policy is, but basically to operate a business in China, you have to have at least 51% Chinese ownership.
Interesting.
So, and a lot of people circumvent it. There's ways to get around it with like out actually hitting that margin and like maintaining ownership. But they're really rough about that kind of stuff. So people move their business to China, kind of like created some like, you know, front that gave them the ability to make it a functionally Chinese national company and get the money themselves. But then like now China can just flip the script and be like, yeah, these are actually ours. And like legally all of these are ours and just be like, take them back. So, you know, get played modern imperialism, capital imperialism.
Gross. People are gross.
Some people are gross.
I would make the claim that a lot of people are gross.
We're all gross in some way or another.
Well,
But,
yes.
Overall, I think more people are good than are gross.
I hope that's true. I don't know that I believe that anymore, but I want to.
Why?
Because people are garbage.
All of them?
Most of them.
Why?
I don't know why. That's the problem. That's
In what
concern.
way? What do they do that makes most of them garbage? Because you haven't interacted with most people.
That's fair. No, that's fair. I guess a lot of people are garbage. Does that work? I just don't have a lot of. I tend to assume that people
But
are
have you interacted
garbage.
with a lot of people?
I feel like I've interacted with
There
a lot
are
of people.
8 billion of them.
I mean, we're not talking on the 8 billion
We are.
scale.
No, we are.
Listen.
I directly am when I say that I believe more people are good as a whole than not. I'm directly talking about those 8 billion people.
See, I'm talking specifically
And
on
you say
like
you want to agree with me, then you can just agree with me. It's not like you have to like think about this and like disagree. It's whatever you make of it. It's however you perceive people.
I don't
Why?
agree. I don't have an answer.
Do you think
I
you
don't,
can't perceive people to be good if you
I think
want
I
to?
totally doubt. I'm fine with perceiving people to be good when they're good, but I don't think a lot of people are good. Like my natural presumption is not that people are good.
Yes, you can change that.
That's not
Because
how
you said you wanted to. Yes, it is.
I I would like
like,
to in the
I
same
would
way,
like
in
to
the
say
same way
that
that I
you're
would like
right.
to believe in like in like a lot of different kinds of higher powers. Like I would like to, but I can't just decide to believe something when I don't
You
think
can,
it's true.
over time,
Over time,
change the way
absolutely.
that you see people interact with people. So
That's
you
true.
can do it then. You just have
Yes.
to take time and you have to invest into it. Because you
that
can
is-
change as a person. I used to be like a terrible shithead. I used to be a terrible person.
Used to be.
And maybe I still am.
Yeah,
exactly.
there it is.
But like, because I decided I didn't want to be like that anymore, I like made baby steps and it took a while and I got corrected and I got shit on a lot of different times. And I lost a lot of friends, but I changed and I'm a better person because of it. But you can continue to say that change is impossible
I mean,
and then never do it.
ooh, I don't want to get into that because I have hot spicy takes on that, and I really don't want to get into that on a public forum where people are going to get pissed at me.
I just think that if you want to see the world in a better way, then you should work towards it.
I think that is a fair thing. I also think that there's no point to seeing the world in a better way when it seems so shitty. It's hard to believe in wanting to see it in a better way, if that makes sense.
It is. It's definitely easier to be the cynic.
Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like me being a cynic is like a moral like high
Oh,
horse.
you're fine. Yeah, no, I don't think it's like a terrible thing or like it's miserable. I just
absolutely.
wouldn't wish it for myself. And since you said you didn't
that's
wish
fair.
it for you, I don't
No,
want
that's
to wish
fair.
it for you either.
I appreciate that. I appreciate
It's
that.
not out of a place of like me taking a high horse. It's me, because of what you said, enacting a change in you, hopefully, or asking you to enact a change in yourself, I guess.
I appreciate that.
We gotta all move forward somehow, or else maybe we will all be bad people.
Maybe we're all bad people now.
We're all Iron Man 2 now.
I remember that. That was a good scene.
When he said that to who was the bad guy in Iron Man 2? It was like a Whip Boy, right?
Yeah, I don't remember. Does anyone remember Iron Man 2?
That's actually one of the only Marvel movies I've seen.
Iron Man 3 was better.
I mean, I haven't seen that.
It was.
I remember Iron Man 2
Whippy Boy was very
because-
cool, though. I'll give you that.
There was like a scene in Iron Man 2, like maybe at the start, maybe in the middle, maybe at the end. There's a scene where, for whatever reason, Iron Man was like driving a race car.
Yeah, and then Whippy
And then,
Boy
like-
shows up and then whips his car in half.
And then he's like, now I'm Iron Man again. And everyone was like, that's Iron Man. Because apparently everyone knew he's Iron Man. It wasn't like a secret.
Yeah, it's not a secret for him. He comes out in like the end of the first one. He's like, I'm going to tell you a
And
big
then he
lie.
becomes
and
a
then
race car driver.
Listen. I wouldn't read too far into it.
What was he? I wish I remembered more about the movie so I could tell you why he was driving a race car. But in reality, I saw the movie when I was probably like 13, and I was on like a family cruise, and it was one of those things where like it was like playing on like the top deck, and I was like just hanging out, and they started playing Iron Man 2, and I was like, I don't know, I guess I'll watch Iron Man 2 in the pool, and then I did, and then so I wasn't paying like 100% attention to it because I was also in a pool, but I just remember when he said we're all Iron Man 2 now, and then he put on his Iron Man suit.
Yeah, that actually is basically how Iron Man 3 ends.
He says we're all Iron Man 2?
I mean, practically. Then he says it, and then there are a whole bunch of Iron Mens. There's like
Wait.
100 of them or something.
Who are the other ones?
They're just Iron Mens. They're just the men's. There's just
Do
the Iron, no men's.
Do you think he put like a Craigslist ad out? Like, hey, who wants to put on an
No,
Iron
he
Man
doesn't
suit?
put any people in it. He just has them show up because apparently that he can just do that.
Wait, they're on their own?
They're all like.
Then why does he even get into any of them if
I
they can all
don't
go
know.
on their own?
Listen, that's a great fucking question.
Because at that point, you're probably better off to just never get in one of the suits. Because
Yeah.
like every time Iron Man is Iron Man, he gets like his suit punched in.
Yeah. You should
So why
never
don't you
be in a
just-
suit. The only well, they do that in Spider-Man's.
He could-
In the Spider-Man's, he's like, it's like a whole plot point where he like keeps flying the suit around without being in it from like a beach or a party somewhere, and like uses
That's
it to
smart.
fucking
That's
yell
what I
at
would do.
Spider-Man because Spider-Man's being a little
Yells at
shithead.
Spider-Man from a party?
Yo, to be
Just
fair,
like when I
Spider-Man.
watched Iron Man 2 from a pool.
Yeah, to be fair,
I was like
Spider-Man
Iron
in that
Man.
movie was kind of being a little shit. And then he goes, "Oh, if you really cared, you'd be here." And then punches the suit, and then fucking Tony steps out of it. He's like, "Oh fuck, oh god, oh fuck." It's basically
Turns
how it
out
goes.
he really was there. Yeah, I like the idea of like Iron Man being like everything is the same except for the fact that like he just like sits in his office all day and like the suits just do their own thing.
I mean, that is the smart thing to do, yes. But
Well,
here's
like, are
the
the
thing:
suits better with him in them?
I guess
Like is he smarter than the AI that pilots the suits?
you have to assume, but it's very unclear.
Well, because like obviously AI is smarter than people, but I have a Roomba and I can tell you that it is not smarter than me with vacuuming. I could vacuum much better than my Roomba could vacuum.
Yeah, it's
But
very.
I just have to hit a button on that.
It's very unclear. Presumably,
So he's got. I like to imagine that he's got like Iron Man mode and he's got Roomba mode.
I like the idea that he uses his Iron Man suit to like clean his house.
Yeah,
that's very funny.
No, I like they do like what the Roomba does, which is it's like bump into a wall and that's how it knows there's a wall there. which is like the greatest technology. Like I'm gonna buy like some of them are like $700 vacuum that tells that there's a wall in front of it when it hits a wall in front of it.
Yeah.
You couldn't have put something there that's just like, hey, look out, wall, don't hit this. Instead, they're like, no, we're just gonna put like a ring that like is made to be bumped a lot. Like, well, everyone makes. You gotta create a solution sometimes to your own problems. And then whenever it just detects dirt, it just starts spinning in a circle and like stretches out over a meter to spin. And then if it hits walls, guess what? It turns. It's frustrating, but also like I don't have any better ideas for how to design a programmable vacuum. So whatever.
That's very true.
I couldn't design it. I feel like if it had like something that measured, like not measured, but like remembered your layout of your floor.
Well, they like you do if you do something like a like what I think the newest VR headsets do, where they just like flash scan your room instead of like having you set up like the little things in the corners or whatever.
Yeah, flash scan your Roomba.
Yeah, but it's a Roomba, and it's just kind of like
and it has a little flash scanner on top of it. And flash scan.
It just like extends up like 3 feet or whatever, and then just poof, and then it has a full scan of your room. That's what you want, I think, to have.
Yeah,
happen.
that's what I want. I mean, I feel like that'd just be better than bumping into walls a lot. But even then, I feel like it would still probably bump into walls a lot.
That's
Maybe
fair.
they tried that and then realized it was just going to bump into walls no matter what they did. So they just brought the price down and just made it bump into the walls. That's the smart take.
That's the smart take. You're right.
Well, if you like create a solution that makes a robot twice the price and only makes it like 10% better, you might as well just halve the price and make it a little bit worse.
And make 2 of them. Yeah.
2 Roombas. Make them fight.
2 Roombas.
We ever like BattleBots?
Yo, BattleBots is the shit.
Yeah, I've never really seen it, but I've seen clips of it, and every time I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a new one. It's not called BattleBots anymore, whatever the new one is called. I can't think of what the name of it is.
Do they still do the same thing?
Oh yeah, 100%. They basically do the exact same thing. But
the only thing I remember about BattleBots is like I would always see things and they'd be like, this one won every single match in the season, and I'm like, well, that doesn't seem like it's that much fun at that point.
It's not. At that point, it is.
So
the
some
opposite
people
of fun.
are too good at BattleBots.
Yes. That's the
you have like
lesson.
a preliminary match where like everyone is like equally, matched. You make sure no one's better than everyone else at BattleBots.
Make sure that everyone's equally garbage. Yeah.
Unless they like purposely sandbag.
Yeah, there's that. But even then,
Didn't somebody get caught with that in the Olympics last time around?
you are asking the wrong dude.
I'm pretty sure one of the teams, like the badminton team from one, I don't even remember where from, but like badminton or like ping pong, or one of those like. I don't want to say joke events, but like one of the lesser
One of the not
hype
popular
events.
ones. Yeah.
Exactly. One of the teams was just like purposefully like fixing matches so they'd get like a lower seed.
Amazing.
Yeah. Imagine being like, oh yeah, I got banned from Olympic ping pong for fixing matches. I want to be the 15 seed going in.
I do love that as an idea, though. To be fair,
Like
I'm
a
here
really
for
like
it.
hard underground. Like, hey man, what are you in for? I fixed a ping pong match in the Olympics,
Oh God.
which it is this year.
You end up. Oh God, it is this year. Why?
It is,
Why?
yeah. It's 2020. It's been 4 years since the last Olympics. I don't remember what was even going on last Olympics. I don't even really remember it that well.
I mean, I
It's been a while. The winter one I remember fairly well.
have weird feelings about the Olympics. Like, I don't hate the Olympics in its entirety, right? I want to get that out of the way before someone yells at me about it. But
Do you hate parts of it?
I just feel sad about
I
it all
will
the
admit,
time.
You're sad about it.
Yeah, I just feel like such a piece of garbage when I watch it. I don't feel like, oh, look at the pinnacle of human condition. I just look like, oh man, look at those people who are just better at life.
Are they better at life? Or are they better at like running 100 meters?
I mean, I feel like if you're doing one and you're in the Olympics, you're probably doing both.
Maybe. I'm not sold on the fact that they're all like powerfully successful. I mean, they're probably really good at like their thing. But if you're like an Olympic archer, that's pretty much what you're doing all day, every day for 4 years. And so you're like the best archer out there. But you're probably not that good at like writing poems.
You might be.
I mean, sure, you might be, but you might be the best archer out there.
I could be. You know what? I'm quitting the podcast. I'm gonna go become the best archer in the world.
Yeah, you know, that's fine. It's about time somebody became the best archer in the world. We've been looking for the
We
best
haven't
one.
had one in so long.
The Usain Bolt of archery.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want to be.
Although honestly, Olympic archery is not that much fun to watch because like the bows and everything they use are just like super like scoped in and weighted and like at that point it's like functionally a gun. Give me like 10 people with like some recurve bows out there just like slinging arrows at targets. Give me 6 guys with an English longbow just slinging arrows out there, flaming arrows.
That does sound pretty sick. I won't lie to you.
Yeah.
Archery's cool. I used to be
Archery is cool.
really okay at it when I was a little kid. Like, I mean, as okay as you ever are as a kid. You know what I mean? Like, not
Yeah.
like oh my
have a
god,
bow.
I'm actually so good. But like,
I actually have a pretty nice like recurve bow, which is pretty sick.
very jealous. I've always wanted to like learn how to do it and just be good at it.
I'm not that good, but I'm okay. I mean, I
I've
can
always
hit a
wanted to be
target.
good at something, you know.
You can be.
I
Just pick something nobody else is doing, so you're automatically at the top.
that seems like not how things work. Like how's that
Yeah,
even
sure.
supposed to do? You know,
Pick up curling.
you gross.
Well, then you don't want to be good at something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's my choice. I'm gonna be like, all right, I want to be really good at one thing. What's one thing? Curling. I want to be good at curling.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
People would respect you because every time the Winter Olympics is on, people watch curling. People love curling, but only once every 4 years.
Why?
You won't catch me on a Tuesday in 2021 watching a match of curling. But every 4 years, you will absolutely find me spectating a little bit of curling action.
little bit of that curl.
A little bit of that.
That good
whirly.
curl. Good curly whirly.
But like the problem with the Olympics, I will admit, is there's too many people who just do running events. There's too many running events. You know, what's your favorite Olympic event?
I don't know, man. I feel like I've watched more snow Olympic stuff than like regular Olympics lately.
What's your favorite Winter Olympics event?
Probably like the fucking whatever the ski jump is, the ones where they like go like 90
Ooh, yeah,
bajillion miles.
Like the high long jump. I don't know, ski long jump. I'm not sure what those ones are called.
Sure.
Either. But that's also the problem with like the Winter Olympics. Like the Summer Olympics has too many running events and too many just free form swimming events. The Winter Olympics has too many that are just like skiing with like none of the exciting stuff, like none of the flips, none of the big jumps, just like straight skiing.
Yeah,
Give me more like the when the guys like do speed skating. That's intense.
that's fair. Yeah,
That's
the speed skating is pretty cool. I'll give you that.
But if you had to give me like my favorite Olympic event, I think men's volleyball, like indoor volleyball.
I can respect that.
It's my
okay.
pick.
Okay.
Sand
Yeah.
volleyball, beach volleyball, never.
Okay. Okay. Not a
Because beach
fan.
volleyball is just only got like 2 people. You know, it's not nearly as exciting.
Okay.
Indoor volleyball, they got like so many guys. They're just like jumping around, and like so many girls just like jumping around, and it's just that's exciting.
Okay.
Outdoor volleyball, nobody's there. It's like a 2-on-2. No thanks. When you got like 6 people, you can do some incredible things. What about basketball? Basketball's in the Olympics, right?
I don't know. I don't.
I'm pretty sure it is because I'm pretty sure like the U.S. team has won every time for like the last like 40 years.
That does sound like us winning
Well,
things.
I mean, like who are you gonna put against the American Olympic basketball team?
I don't know, man.
Like Yao Ming played for like the Chinese team, and like that's cool. Yao Ming's really great, but like if you have like the best NBA players on one team, you're just not gonna have a good time.
Whack. When is the Olympics? When does that go on?
Good.
When? What? What?
What'd you say?
I said what? When does the Olympics happen? When is
Today.
that?
No, I think it's over the summer, so it probably won't start till like June or July.
Nah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of like an exciting time. I think. I'm a fan, but yeah, too many running, too many swimming that are just running or just swimming.
Oh,
I want the excitement.
What's the one with the spinny ball? Discus? Discus? Is that still a thing?
Discus, yeah.
Discus is
probably.
cool. Discus is cool.
Yeah, discus is probably still a thing.
They just fucking yeet things across the fucking world.
Yeah, they do be throwing.
They don't be throwing. They be yeeting. Like, let's be clear.
I feel like
That shit get
discus
yoted.
is neat, but it's like better shot put. Like why do they even do shot put when they could do discus?
I 100% agree. Shot put is just like, meh, but you get that
It's
extra
just discus,
spin.
but no fun, no aerodynamics. And then you got like javelin, great event. Because every once in a while, one of the refs gets it right in the foot.
Yep.
That's not true. That never really actually happens.
I want that to
yeah,
happen.
It has before. Because like, you don't have to actually like stand where it's about to hit. You can walk up to it after it hits the ground. It usually kind of sticks in there, No need to get impaled. I feel like going to see the Olympics at some point in my life would be really cool. I would do it. But it's just like it's like a 2-week long event. It's not a quick thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't be like, oh, I'm going to the Olympics. You'll be like, I'll be back in a month,
Yeah, yeah.
What if they had like the Olympics like right by us? Like, what if they had the Olympics in Buffalo, New York? First of all, that would suck.
Why?
Because
Yeah,
it's
no,
Buffalo.
I was trying to
They
like
had-
process
they
that
had,
for a
like-
second, but no.
They had the Winter Olympics in Lake Placid,
Which is where?
New York.
Whack.
Well, I mean, what do you mean? Why? It's
It has to go somewhere, I guess, but whack.
And Lake Placid is a beautiful area.
Fair.
Yeah, imagine like the Olympics at like Niagara Falls. That'd be fun. But like the problem with the Winter Olympics is there's not that many places you can have it. You can't just put the Winter Olympics anywhere. You can't be like, oh, Atlanta, Georgia this year, because only so many places can do Winter Olympic things. Like Canada, Colorado, It is in Beijing next year, which is a bit jank, to be fair, because Beijing just did the Summer Olympics like 2 years ago.
Is it cold enough in Beijing to get the Winter Olympics?
I guess so.
Whack. Maybe they're just
There's
gonna put
probably like some mountains
I'm
somewhere.
gonna say
in-
they'll just put down a shitload of snow machines. Just a
yeah, I feel
metric
like the Chinese government
fuckload.
would be like, we'll make it happen.
Honestly, if there was one government that I thought could make it happen, I feel like it would be China. That tracks.
Why does it say Winter Olympics 2020? Which of you pea brains think the Winter Olympics is in 2020? No thanks, Google. I'm not falling for that trick. Give me a 2022. Yeah, it's gonna be in Beijing.
Whack.
Beijing's probably got some big old hills or something. I don't know that much about like the actual like topography of Beijing. And then after that, it's gonna be in Milan and Cortina.
Ooh.
That'll be fun.
Ooh.
And their motto is "Dreaming Together."
Ooh.
Yo!
I like dreaming.
Guess where the next Olympics is after Tokyo? Paris 2024. And after Paris, LA, baby.
LA baby.
LA, baby. We'll go to California. We'll go to California and we'll see the Olympics. And
I'm
we'll
down.
confirm whether or not people are there.
No,
Again.
we know people are there. We don't know if things are there.
Well, we
I'm
think people
I'm
are there.
pretty sure that
Have you
people.
seen them there?
No, but I've seen them like
See?
come from there and go back to there.
Okay. But maybe they were in your backyard.
That's true. But
We
I'm,
established this.
I'm thinking that it's easier to believe that there are people there than there are things there. There are people like almost everywhere, you know?
You think that like the people are there, but that's just like they're in like a void?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
You think
good.
they're just like all standing there like heads down, just in silence?
No, I think they're chanting.
guess I'll go
they're in a
back.
void.
Ooh,
like, if
chanting.
you're in a void with a bunch of your friends, what are you going to do but chant? Like,
So
come on.
Tokyo's motto is "Discover Tomorrow."
That's pretty sick.
Paris's motto, "Made for Sharing." How nice. Thank you, Paris.
All right, what's new? What's
LA's?
Yep.
Follow the sun. There's some cult stuff going on there, and I'm here for it. They're chanting.
Yeah.
Well, now that we've come full circle
What's
from one of the things we
Philadelphia's
talked about at the
motto?
very beginning of like the city, these are the Olympic mottos, not the city mottos.
Oh, okay. What are the like
'Cause
past
every Olympics
Olympic
has a
motto?
motto.
Hold on, I want to see what the past Olympic mottos are. Can we just go over
But
this
we
for
were
a
at
second?
like such a perfect full circle when we started talking about whether or not California has
you know
things
what else
in it
is
again.
you know what else is a full
And
circle?
we're at almost like an hour exactly, so I feel like this is
you know
the
what else?
perfect time
You know
to
what
end
else
the
is a full
episode.
circle?
Audibletrial.com/off the air.
No, the circles on
time.
the circles on the Olympic thing.
Oh, I thought you were trying to like.
Lead us
You
into
know,
something? No, I wasn't
I thought you were trying
softballing
to
you.
like get with me and like get out of the episode, free us from this corporeal prison. But instead, you're talking about the Olympic rings.
Are we in the void when we're not recording?
We are in the void when we are, and we're not recording. I've never seen you before.
That's
You've
true.
never seen
As
me
far
before.
as I know, you don't
Either of
exist.
us may. In my mind, you're like a Hatsune Miku-esque project. Like Noah's just really
the worst.
typing really fast.
The worst kind of, the absolute just worst thing to put that kind of money towards. We can realistically simulate human speech, and we've made him
A
kind of
podcast host.
a podcast host, and kind of a dick. Like,
Well, I mean, what is Hatsune Miku if not a podcast host and kind of a dig?
is she a podcast host?
No.
Is it a
I
podcast?
also think she's probably pretty nice.
It's
Well,
weird
she's
to
not
say.
real,
It's weird to
so-
say the word is she, because like I don't know.
Miku's, not a person, but I don't want to just refer to Miku as like a robot. And maybe that's just because I've fallen for the trap. But like,
definitely
Miku is
have.
friend. Miku is my friend. You think you get to play at Coachella if you're not cool?
No, I don't.
No,
I don't think
I
that.
didn't think that. Well, Miku's playing Coachella.
No, that's
Yeah,
fake.
absolutely.
No, that sounds fake.
It is absolutely not fake.
Sounds fake.
I can't believe this guy didn't know Miku's playing Coachella.
Sounds fake. You know who doesn't play Coachella but instead gives us their money?
The
Patreon backers.
Olympic rings.
The Olympic rings do give us their money. We have our Patreon backers, and we don't have. I realized I don't know that Noah did a January shout out for everybody.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think he did the like.
Also, I got this Arby's sandwich and I'm absolutely about to start eating it. So
That's fine. Well, you go ahead and eat while I pretend like I'm Noah.
okay.
All right, so we got 4 people to shout out real quick. I'm gonna do that.
Don't we need like a sentence from them?
We should from 2 of them, but we do not have them because Noah did not reach out to them, and I don't have the time to do it in this 2 minutes while I'm finishing up the episode.
That's right, guys. Dan, not a really good podcast host. Me, I would have totally reached out to you, but Dan didn't let me.
I mean, that is true. I am a bad podcast host. That is true. We got it looks like 4 people to shout out as just a quick thank you for giving us money. We got Michael, and we got Emma, and we got Edge, and we got Clap.
Meme.
And all 4 of them give us Cash Money Dollar every month because they're great. And 2 of them get to give us little snippets to read at the end of the episode. But
Snipport.
if you want to give us money for us producing content, patreon.com/the
Oh,
off
you're
the
talking
air.
to me because I don't.
No, so
want to, 'cause that kind of defeats the
patreon.com/off the air.
purpose.
I lied. Patreon.com/off the air. See, this is why Noah does it all the time. Patreon.com/off the air. And then what do we got? You can find the podcast at twitter.com/the off the air. I think it's facebook.com/the off the air as well. Let me double check. I'm just checking. The off the air on Twitter, the off the air on Facebook.
Facebook.com/OTA podcast, Twitter.com/the off the air, and Patreon.com/off the air.
I think it's just offtheairpodcast.com. Support us on.
All sounds good to me.
Support us on Patreon. Did that.
Do it.
And tell people about us because that's better than supporting us on Patreon sometimes. It's not. Give us actual cash, but that way you can get other people to also give us cash. You see, it's like a pyramid scheme, but not.
Yeah, make sure to rate us 5 stars.
Yes.
And also, hi, hon, haven't talked to you since high school.
What?
It's a classic pyramid scheme greeting. People trying to sell you on the pyramid scheme. They're like, hey, hon, haven't talked to you since we were like 13. Would you like to buy my hair care product?
And the answer is no. I would never like to buy your hair care product. Ever.
Well, sorry, hon.
Let's see. Who else do we got? What else do we got? We got Jackson. Noah's not here, so Noah doesn't get shout outs. We don't get to say where they can find Noah because fuck that guy. Jackson, where can they find you?
You can.
Come on. And I am on Twitter at Born57, Instagram at Born57, and Twitch at twitch.tv/BornRule, where Noah and I are streaming almost every Thursday and Saturday, or almost every Thursday. And for me, every Saturday, but not together. We stream separately. But on Thursday, we stream together. Not this Thursday. He was sick. He is very sick. That is actually where he is, to be clear. We've been saying that we kicked him off this whole... He's very sick. He got the flu. I told him he shouldn't have taken that trip to China. Topical reference. Are we done? Is that everything? Did I miss anything?
Can we go to the Beijing Olympics?
Yeah. I mean, you got Beijing Olympics kind of money?
Well, I mean, I don't know. So we got a couple years.
You think we're gonna have? Listen, if the Patreon takes off, we'll go to the Beijing Olympics and live stream it. How's that? That seems like we can't do that. I feel like we definitely aren't allowed to do that. All right, I'm done
it's
here.
What, like $10 a day from everyone who's ever listened to the podcast, and we could all go to the Beijing Olympics. Yeah, well, we could go in style that way.
Yeah.
I mean, what if we stayed not in Beijing, right, kind of far away, and then took the bullet train? Because that way you don't have to spend the hotels, and because the infrastructure in China is better.
One of my top 5 goals in life is to be able to take a fucking bullet train at some point. They're so cool.
We can go from
Jackson. They're so cool. They're so cool. They just fucking lift him up on a fucking
maglev trains. Yeah, they're pretty neat.
Maglev trains are so cool.
Well, let's take one in China.
When we go for the Olympics. Listen, we're confirming it here while Noah can't stop us.
I think I could do well in China because I would absolutely sell out you capitalist scumbags and make my way into the party's headquarters and become one of them and get my citizenship granted and start working in a federal program funded by the state in which I actively spread propaganda against America.
This already happened. This already happened. This has already happened. You've already done this. This is why you do that.
That's my plan for if things go wrong when we're in Beijing. If things take a turn for the worse, that's my plan.
Okay. That's fair.
So if you're hearing this, American government, don't worry about it. Chinese government,
do worry about it.
Send me an
email. I'm done here. We're done.
We're done for now. But 2022, you'll see us from a different light when we're in China. We should go to Tokyo this year.
Should we?
Yeah, why not? It'd be fun. You paying?
No.
Oh, unlucky.